Well, good morning, everybody. It is 9 o'clock on this Black Friday. I'm Jane Monreal. You're watching Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. On this Friday morning, unfortunately, we need to begin with some breaking news. This is out of St. Louis, Missouri, downtown area, where this is a live picture now of a scene where at least two large warehouses caught fire early this morning. This is right near the Mississippi River, as you can see there in the distance. But all of that smoke, the fire is actually contained, but obviously still looking at some hot spots and possible flare-ups. We're 200 firefighters, according to our content partner there in St. Louis, from several agencies around town, responded to the scene around 3 a.m. and officials saying that this could be monitored throughout the weekend. Multiple buildings in this area where a number of homeless people reportedly were living in and around the warehouses when firefighters arrived. So far, it appears that no injuries have been reported, but a number of people, 80 customers or so, are now without power due to this fire. So looking at about 4 buildings that were fully involved at one point. We are working to get more information with a reporter from, again, our sister station there at KSDK, reporting on the ground with the scene, and this definitely having an impact on folks out there. So something to watch out for there in St. Louis downtown, unfortunately, for this day after Thanksgiving, again happening in the overnight hours early this morning. So we will continue to monitor that here. But right now, back in the Live Impact studio at 9:02, relatively quiet so far today as far as your day's news goes. But with the breaking news that was covered the day before Thanksgiving, a follow-up now from the president. His call to U.S. troops yesterday included a long conversation, as well as conversation about an announcement and release of more details on the guardsmen that were shot on Wednesday right near the White House. So we'll play this for you now in case you missed it yesterday on Live Impact News on WCNC+.
I see you on and everybody sees us. I see you, a lot of great looking faces. Am I correct? Everybody's on, right? If you are, wave. If you're not, just you can leave and go have turkey. Good, I think everyone's waving. Thank you very much. And I'm honored to speak with so many incredible members of the U.S. military and to wish all of you a very happy Thanksgiving. Before we begin, I want to express the anguish and the horror of our entire nation at the terrorist attack yesterday in our nation's capital, in which a savage monster gunned down 2 service members in the West Virginia National Guard who were deployed as part of the D.C. task force, which has done such an incredible job. I mean, until yesterday, we literally had no incidents for many months. It was the safest place imaginable, and this is a different kind of crime. This is a really bad crime. Millions of Americans are praying for those heroes and their families, and I must unfortunately tell you that just seconds before I went on, right now, I heard that Sarah Beckstrom of West Virginia, one of the guardsmen that we're talking about, highly respected, young, magnificent person, started service in June of 2023, outstanding in every way. She's just passed away. She's no longer with us. She's looking down at us right now. Her parents are with her. This just happened. She was savagely attacked. She's dead. She's not with us. Incredible person. Outstanding in every single way, in every department. Just horrible. As you know, the other young man is fighting for his life. He's in very bad shape. He's fighting for his life, and hopefully we'll get better news with respect to him. And the monster that did this is also in serious condition. But we won't even talk about him. As you may know, DHS has confirmed that the suspect is an Afghan national, flown here by the previous administration, who was such a bad administration. And I have a picture of a plane. This is what it looked like when they came in. It was total bedlam. Do you remember that period of time? Total bedlam. People crammed onto the plane. And the toughest, meanest, most capable physically got on the plane. Not the people that we were looking for or that they wanted to bring in. Here's a picture for you. Just take a look at that plane. Standing on top of each other, sitting on top of each other. This is what we had under the Biden administration. That whole thing should have never, ever happened. They should have left from a different base. They should have left from Bagram, as you know, and it would have been a much different story. But they didn't do that, and this was just a rout, just a terrible situation. This heinous atrocity reminds us that we have no greater national security priority than ensuring that we have full control over the people that enter and remain in our country. For the most part, we don't want them. They come in illegally. They have a lot of problems. Their countries force them in because their countries are smart. They don't want them. Let's give them to the Americans to take care of. They come out of jails in many cases, mental institutions, they're gang members, they're drug dealers. We don't want them. Many of the service members on this call today are engaged in crucial aspects of that mission. And to each and every one of you, I just want to thank you so much. Incredible people. You make this sacrifice like few others understand. A lot of them don't even understand it. And you're keeping America safe and free. Our military is strong. My first term, I rebuilt our military, all aspects of our military. And in Afghanistan, we actually gave up a big chunk, but relatively, as much as it seemed like it's small compared to what we bought and to what we have and to what we're buying. We're spending over $1 trillion this year on our military. We have a military, the best in the world. We make the best equipment in the world. And we have the best people in the world. So joining us this evening are 6 units deployed across our hemisphere, representing every branch of the United States Armed Forces. First, I want to thank the members of Army's legendary 101st Airborne Division. Now, I've heard about that since I was a little boy. The Screaming Eagles, calling in from Fort Huachuca, Arizona, and you're led by Major General David Gardner, a real tough cookie and great general. I appreciate it, General Gardner. The 101st has done an outstanding job leading the task force, joint task force at our southern border. And we have nobody coming in. They're not coming in. Under Biden, they were coming in by the millions. Now we have nobody coming in. We have a strong border. Nobody talks about it anymore. I'm not giving credit for anything, just like you guys are not giving credit for anything. We do the greatest job, but that's all right. They don't talk about the border anymore because you know why? Nobody comes in. We had 9 months now where we had nobody coming in, zero. And this is being fed. This is the people that do this they tend to be on the left. They'd love to say millions of people came in through Trump, and they actually said nobody came. Even I find that hard to believe, but they literally are saying nobody came in. And I hope people appreciate the job that you've done and the job that we've all done. But we're stopping the invasion of our country. We stopped it cold. And if you remember, Biden said, I need new legislation. You didn't need legislation. I didn't get legislation. What you needed was a new president. So with your help, we now have the most secure border in American history. It's the single most secure border in American history. So I just want to thank you. And the 101st, I want to thank you very much. The job you've done is amazing, working with all of our great people. We also have the men and women of the U.S. Navy serving as part of the Iwo Jima Amphibious Ready Group under Captain Christopher Farraker. And they're on board the USS Iwo Jima in the Caribbean Sea, working right by their side are members of the 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit led by Colonel Tom Trimble. Thank you very much. I think you waved to me because I can see you then. Let's see. There you are, handsome people. They're beautiful looking people. Thank you. Like Central I could put you in a movie right this second, and the three of you, and I think we'd have a top grossing movie. You don't have people like you in Hollywood. Part of the 22nd MEU is also serving in Puerto Rico, the 3rd Battalion, 6 Marines, Devil Dogs, led by Major Ross Gilchrist. Where is Major? Where are you? Hello, Major. Another central. Is everybody central casting? It's like they're all handsome, tough guys. I don't know what's going on here. But the Navy Marine Corps team is currently helping to defend our country, protect our interests, and literally decimate terrorists. The job you've done is incredible. I also want to thank you for your amazing work to quickly deliver life-saving aid to Jamaica in the aftermath of the recent hurricane, which was devastating. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Major and everybody. Appreciate it. Next up are the airmen serving with one of the most feared bomber forces in the world, the U.S. Air Force's 7th Bomb Wing at Dyess Air Force Base in Texas under the auspices and leadership of Colonel Seth Spanier. Colonel, where are you, Colonel? Colonel, let's see, you're right there. Thank you, Colonel. All of you are backbone of America, and you really are the backbone of America's air power. And in recent weeks, you've been working to deter Venezuelan drug traffickers, of which there are many. Of course, there aren't too many coming in by sea anymore, have you probably noticed that? From sending their poisons into the United States, where they kill hundreds of thousands of people a year. But we're going to take care of that situation. We're already doing a lot. We've almost stopped. It's about 85% stopped by sea. You probably noticed that. People aren't wanting to be delivering by sea. And we'll be starting to stop them by land also. The land is easier, but that's going to start very soon. We warned them, stop sending poison to our country. We also have the 18th Space Defense Squadron at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California, headed by Captain Ryan Weber. Captain, where are you, Captain? Thank you very much, Captain. Great job. Every day you maintain American dominance on the high frontier. You're the guardians of one of the most important domains we have to protect, and you make us very, very proud of the job you do, Captain. Thank you. Finally, we have the great men of the Coast Guard, and I have to tell you, there are a lot of women in the Coast Guard now, too, and we're happy about that. United States Coast Guard aboard the Coast Guard cutter Forrest Rednar with Lieutenant Commander Alexis Wild. Alexis, where are you? Hi, Alexis. Alexis Wild at the helm. And I'm told that just last month, the Forrest Rednar intercepted a boat with lots and lots of illegal aliens off the coast of California. It was loaded, and then turned them over to the Customs and Border Patrol, and they did it so professionally. The people were very, very impressed with the job you did, Commander, so thank you very much. It was a great job. And thank you for defending our maritime borders with skill and with pride, and the job you do. Amazing. So I want to thank all of you again for your amazing service to our country. God bless our warriors. God bless our heroes from West Virginia National Guard. What a group. I love West Virginia. And I want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. We have a country that we can be very proud of. I was with the King of Saudi Arabia, and he said, you know, sir, last year you had a country that was a dead country. We thought it was dead. And now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world, and it's true. And we're going to be having close to $20 trillion invested. That's record-setting by 10 times. Nobody's ever had anything like it. We're building plants. We're building factories, auto factories, AI plants, the whole thing with artificial intelligence. I don't know the word. I've never liked the word artificial. I don't know what artificials are. I think they ought to change the name. I've always said it's a lousy name to have, artificial anything, but it's a big business. And we're building more. We're leading China by a lot. We're leading everybody by a lot. We make the best military equipment in the world, and they're ordering it at numbers that nobody's ever seen before. But we're doing better than we've ever done before. We have the stock markets just hit, for the 48th time, an all-time high during the 9 months that I've been here, a little more than 9 months now. And so we have the hottest stock market ever. That's a big thing for 401ks and all of the millions of people with jobs and 401ks. Everybody participates in that. But it's 48 times in a little bit less than 10 months. 48 times we hit an all-time high. And I think we're going to continue, because when these factories that we're building from all over the world, they're coming because of tariffs. I think because of November 5th, the election result, but because of tariffs. And we're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars like we've never done before. And some of that's going to go back in the form of a sort of dividend to our people, but much of it's going to go toward reducing debt. And what it really goes for, and even better than the money we're taking in, is the fact that nobody's attacking our companies and taking them out, stealing them like they've been for many years. Because if they do that, they have to pay a tariff as they make products and sell them into our country. So we made deals with Japan, we made deals with South Korea, we made deals with the European Union, where they pay us hundreds of billions of dollars, and they participate. They're now building plants. Honda is building plants, and they're all, every car company from all over the world virtually is building plants now in the United States because they don't want to pay the tariffs. So there's never been anything quite like it. It's been amazing. So we're taking in, think of it, hundreds of billions. Next year it'll be $1 trillion or more. But we're taking in all this money, at the same time protecting our country. And we're respected again. They actually respect us. And they made the deals. I mean, they respect us, but they pay us. As an example, Japan, $650 billion. South Korea, $350 billion. European Union, $950 billion. And they are building plants now in the United States because they don't want to pay tariffs. So this is one of the biggest things economically that's never happened. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And over the next couple of years, I think we'll substantially be cutting, and maybe cutting out completely, but we'll be cutting income tax. Could be almost completely cutting it because the money we're taking in is going to be so large. And yet, other countries who have been ripping us off for many, many years, and many years they've just been ripping us to shreds. China would take in $600, $700 billion a year, rebuild their military. And now we have a fair deal with China. We just met with President Xi. We have a great relationship. We have a fair deal. We take in a lot of money in the form of tariffs. But so many, even our friends, I mean, European Union, they're our friends. Japan, they're our friends. South Korea is our friends. They're now paying us hundreds of billions of dollars, and they're also paying tariffs to come in. We're not paying tariffs to go in there, by the way. They're paying tariffs, but we're not. So that's a total reversal. But we are benefiting like they used to benefit against us, but we're benefiting even more. So I just want to thank everybody for making all of this possible. Without you, well, you know, we don't have any defense, and boy, do we have defense. We have the strongest military anywhere in the world. We make, as I said, the best equipment, but we have, more importantly, we have the strongest military anywhere in the world, and you saw that with Iran, with those beautiful B-2 bombers. They totally obliterated the potential nuclear supply of Iran, and they did it in the dark of night with no moon, no light, no nothing. Early in the morning they attacked. You couldn't see a thing, and every single bomb hit its mark. Every single bomb. The Atomic Energy Commission said it was total obliteration. Remember when some of the fake news tried to say, well, maybe it wasn't as bad. Well, it was much worse than anybody thought. And I want to thank those pilots and all of the mechanics and all of the people that serviced and worked on the B-2 bombers. We just ordered a lot more of them. And the reason we did is they were totally incredible, totally invisible. They were stealth. Nobody saw them. They knew they were coming, but they couldn't see them. And they dropped the bomb, and then one of the pilots, commander, said, skedaddle, let's get the hell out of here. But they dropped those bombs, and they loved doing it. They were so honored. They said to me when they came to I invited them all to the Oval Office, including the people that take care of the machines, because, you know, they flew 37 hours both ways, 37 hours, and there wasn't a sputter from an engine. There wasn't a broken screw. There wasn't a problem. There wasn't a chipped piece of paint. It was a flawless mission. I want to thank General Raisin Kane for that, and Pete Hegseth.
All right, at 9:20, we're going to take a little pause there in President Trump's call to U.S. troops. That was from yesterday on Thanksgiving Day. Taking a break here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. Back in 2. Back here now at 9:22 on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus, the day after Thanksgiving, a Black Friday. It is a long weekend. What else is it? Chris Mulcahy is in here, bringing it to us live now. What's going on?
It's a Small Business Saturday.
Small Business Saturday. We've got Cyber Monday.
It's a Panthers Sunday. That's not a alliteration
thing.
or something like that. But the Panthers are in town. So, and today is Blue Sky Friday, and it is going to be a gorgeous looking day, but sometimes looks can be deceiving because those cool Carolina Blues are really just a deception that we are super cold today, and high temperatures only in the upper 40s. We dropped down to the freezing point and below for the third time this November, and our Boone King Street camera dealing with more clouds up here compared to the rest of the area, so just kind of keep that note. And earlier this morning, we were seeing some of our resort cameras, such as Blowing Rock, actually blowing some flurries around. So yeah, definitely dealing with this. And High Brighton Mountain was my favorite camera earlier on. The images look like a Bob Ross painting. It was incredible. Well, now the sun's already come up, so it's just the usual, but it is a delightful day wherever you look. But maybe this isn't so delightful. 37 degrees. We've had a lot of lows that haven't even made it anywhere close to this so far this November. And I shared the staggering stat with you yesterday that leading up through 26 days of November, we are the fourth warmest November, but with all these colder temperatures, we're going to be all the way down to 19, still top 20, but this colder air is definitely going to strip us down the ranks. Dropped down to 31 degrees this morning. Now we're hovering around the mid to the upper 30s, and those wind chills are going to be brutal depending where you are. Feeling like the single digits to the teens up around Blowing Rock. Meanwhile, it'll feel like the lower 40s to the upper 30s, even though our highs are closer to about 50 degrees. So keep that in mind. Here's your afternoon, 49 degrees, wall-to-wall sunshine. That 7 to 12 that you see right there from the MPHs, that's a gentle breeze. That's what it's categorized as. But I think you still have a gust up to 20 miles per hour. That's what's going to make you feel like either side of 40, even though you got the sunshine, where it's kind of battling a little bit, where the wind chill can make you feel up to 10 degrees colder, but indirect sunshine makes you 10 degrees warmer. So still right around that 49 degree point. But the sunshine makes it better. If it was cloudy, that's just miserable, and we will have some of those days. So it's feeling like January. From January 1st to the 23rd, our average high is 52 and our average low is 32 across Charlotte. Today, 49, and our low that was actually 31. I don't know why it says 28 there. 31, we're below where we should be in the middle of January. So that really just puts it into perspective. I've been showing this graph for the last couple of weeks. It was a lot more fun when it was dancing through October and sometimes touching September-like highs. But nope, we're just hovering in the bottom. Feeling like it should in January, not even really December-like as we head in December, so it's all confused. So as I mentioned, 31 is what we dropped down this morning. That's the third freezing temperature, but it's about to get colder. Check it out. We're going to see temperatures drop down. My reveal failed. Okay, there it is. 25 degrees by tomorrow. The only thing that's going to ruin this is we do have some clouds that'll be lurking around. So I think the warmest possibility is the upper 20s. The coldest possibility is about 25 degrees by tomorrow. The coldest that we've been so far is 29 degrees back on Veterans Day. So yeah, we're heading the wrong direction. As for our highs, though, staying in the upper 40s through the weekend. But if you have any weekend plans and you do not want rain to interrupt it, Saturday is your day. Now, Sunday, it looks to be one of those scenarios because we have a lot of dry air in place. It is so dry that we're dealing with some extra zaps because of the static electricity in the air. Whenever it's this dry, you might have noticed. Has anyone had any zaps in this room? You
I
did?
had a zap, actually.
When?
Yes.
Today?
Today.
Today? Okay,
Yeah,
I had a
just
zap
coming in.
yesterday. What about you, man? No zaps?
When do you get zaps?
So sometimes when you contact with another person or sometimes a metal object, it just what happens is sometimes if you're getting off the couch or socks on a rug, you literally kind of charge an opposite ion. So you
okay,
get
I'll
that
keep
little,
an eye out.
yeah, little, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good to know. That's good to know.
And
Which
so
is-
it's when it's cold and dry?
Yeah, mainly just dry. It's all about drier air, but typically when it's this dry, it's also cold as well. So yeah, you're correct on both edge. But yeah, actually, let's just bring that up. I love bring
research.
that. Yep. Nope. Let me see. Static. Because I was.
I'm bringing up Black Friday sales.
Yeah. Always. Because I refurbished this graphic. So raising your weather IQ. Whenever a dew point is below 30 degrees, that is what's going to trigger this. This is why I love dew points. Because when it's above 60, it starts feeling humid. When it's below 30, well, these things start to happen. That you can actually have some random zaps, as we just mentioned. Dry skin, dry throat. That could be another possibility. This is also the drier air that'll cause sometimes the corner of your lips to crack. That's a possibility. And then sometimes staticky hair and staticky clothes can happen as well. This is kind of like in a small term, almost how lightning forms as far as the static electricity goes. It's just that with a dew point of 15 degrees right now, that is so dry, that is what's causing this. So I just wanted to bring up that as a point. And then also, bringing up my other point about this rain this weekend, there's a good chance that a lot of this kind of dissipates because of how dry we are. When you're this dry, it takes a lot of moisture to try to overcome it. And I think that will happen on Tuesday. It's just a little bit iffy now for your Sunday. So Sunday, I did bring things down to just a scattered activity, and I brought widespread activity for your Tuesday, where right now it's trending about half of your Tuesday could be wet. So there's even a possibility, the worst case scenario is a washout, and it's also rain in the 40s. Yeah. So we brought this up before. This is definitely one of Nick's icks. For our travel impacts, you can also see this. This is Monday night heading into Tuesday. Just because of the widespread rain, it's not going to be great. I think up to 1 to 2 inches of rain could fall from this. And this is has all the makings to potentially be our next weather impact alert day. Definitely a weather impact because it's going to be impactful for your travel. But there's also a sneaky other problem that I'm seeing here, that Monday night through Tuesday night, I have a big window here because it's 5 days out. A lot can still change. But what the bottom line here is, periods of rain, travel impacts, which showed you, there's a chance for some mountain ice. And I'm talking about freezing rain. So I want everyone just to stay updated. Be cautious if you're going to be driving through the mountains, especially Monday night, because of that ice probability. Because check this out. Let's get through Sunday. You have this little branch of rain. You see how a lot of it dies out. I'm not really confident a lot of that holds together. I do think we see rain across the area. It's just not like what you're about to see here. Check it out. Those darker greens start to take over. This is a big-time snowmaker well north of this system, this classic comma cloud. But if you look closely, you see this little area of pink right along the North Carolina mountains. That would be a potential changeover to some freezing rain. So that freezing rain is a very tricky thing to track. So it's right in here. That shows it about 4 a.m. It's not going to last long because after a while it starts to burn itself out, and I'll explain that here in one moment. So if you have temperatures that are freezing at the surface with all this rain rolling in, it turns into super cool droplets that just freezes on contact. And I'm seeing some model data that has this actually add up in a hurry. That's where things become really hazardous. I would rather have a foot of snow compared to a half inch of ice in that scenario. Then this should be out of here by your Tuesday evening. Back end still could bring a little bit of snow for the North Carolina mountains. So as I mentioned, it's about 1 to 2 inches of rain that could fall from these two rain events, and then some areas up to 2 to 4 further off towards the west, depending where they are. Here's the ice accumulation I'm talking about. For Sunday, if we do get any precipitation in the morning, again, the morning, so before the sun rises up, the outside chance for a little burst of snow, or some white rain as we call it, is going to be a possibility from the I-40 corridor up into the mountains, and even a little bit of sleet starting to mix in. So you might have some ice pellets. But this is the concerning thing. Now, this is 5 days out. A lot can change. It's showing a pretty decent bullseye of some accumulating freezing rain. But here's the problem. We are now 5 days out, and what we're trying to predict here is not what the temperature is at the surface, not the timing of the front. You're trying to measure what the temperatures are at 2 to 10,000 feet. So let me explain. When you're about a mile up in the atmosphere, everything's snow. Sometimes even during the summertime, you can have temperatures that are well below freezing. It would be snow initially. Then once it drops into what's called warm air advection, a pocket of warmer air, it actually warms above freezing, but it's still super cooled when it drops back to a freezing surface. So whenever you have that ribbon right above us, especially if it's about 8,000 feet, that's freezing rain. If it only partially melts, so you have a partially melted snowflake and it falls back into freezing temperatures, it's then sleet. So that's what makes the ice pellet. So it's either fully melting or it's partially melting. That's why it's a nightmare trying to predict the pink thinks 5 days out. But things right now, the way we're seeing it, is a better chance for some freezing rain or some measurable sleet. So that's why I want everyone to be kind of alert for at least the North Carolina mountains. It's just going to be kind of a wet, cold, raw day for the Charlotte area. There's also another really difficult thing, raising your weather IQ when it comes to freezing rain, because it's a deprecating factor. What that means is it actually releases something called latent heat. So as you are starting to freeze at the surface, it actually removes heat energy into the atmosphere. So the more ice that accumulates, it actually starts to warm things up. So say if it's 30 degrees, active freezing rain, there could be enough of this that it actually warms it back above freezing, and then it's no longer freezing rain. That's why it's the most difficult thing to predict, and it's also one of the most treacherous. When you have temperatures in the mid to the upper 20s, and then it's that perfect setup for up to a quarter inch, that's where you really have the most deadly situations. But for us, we're just watching it. 5 days out, there's a lot that can change. This just might be a facade, a fake reading. But I have now been seeing this for about 3 days straight. This is the first day that I'm just vocalizing about ice, because you're kind of starting to see that trend. 7 days out, anything can go. It can predict hurricanes that never become. So that's why it's about the time that we're starting to watch it. So there's a good chance that this bar might turn red. We're actively watching it for the time being. Temperatures are in the upper 40s through the weekend, and we should be, and I always keep our average highs and lows below the 7-day forecast on the upper part. 59 is where we should be, 37 for a low. We are below that across the board. So nowhere near where we should be. And even looking at the longer climate trends, I think we could come up a little bit maybe heading into week 2 of December. But then longer range models even showing that we have yet again another cool down. So right now, after a near historic November, December is trending way down.
All right, get used to these 40s and 50s is what you're saying.
Yes.
I have a question, Chris.
Of course.
So, for those of us who are, trying to get into new hobbies, new habits.
Okay.
We talked about this a little bit yesterday with Nick Sturdivant. If I were trying to plan to potentially get in a nice little morning jog tomorrow before college game day, which is about 9 a.m.
Okay.
How miserable am I going to be?
Well,
Miserable.
let me see. And were you
solid-
from Northern California or Southern California?
Does it matter?
It does, because northern it gets a little bit more
We
colder.
have chili, yes.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I'm from the beach part of Northern.
Okay, so I think you'll be okay.
Okay.
The good thing is it's not going to be great. I truly would wait for the sun to rise.
Okay.
Because it's at sunrise that you have the coldest temperatures. But then if you could wait like an hour or so, truly, if you get to 10 o'clock, it's much better.
Okay, that's good to know.
Marathon runners ideally like to run in the 40s.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
believe it or
They
not,
sound
They
crazy.
say.
yeah, so believe it or not, since we have a high of 48 degrees, truly your best time is in the afternoon, but you want to watch college game day. So I think the closest you can get to college game day, so 10 to 11, you're going to be the least miserable.
Okay.
The
this is good to
least
know.
miserable.
This is helpful. This
This is a
I mean,
new
I-
hobby. I thought you run, Jeb.
I'm trying to get into it like in like a really competitive, like I'm really trying to.
Oh, so you trying to do Ks?
I'm trying to add some Ks there. But like I ran yesterday after work, so this is like 4 o'clock, and I like running those shorts, like the breathability with the
sure.
legs, and I was freezing. Like I was like, and it was a great run.
Yeah.
we did 7:15 mile pace for 4 miles. I was very proud of that.
That's good.
Wow.
But I was chilly. Like I was
The
like,
whole
looking-
time.
The whole
You
time.
didn't even warm up?
Like it wasn't until I stopped running that like, and then finally everything kind of settled.
Catches up,
So I was
yeah.
like, all right, I need to be more cognizant
of the
yeah, you're
outside
just gonna
temperature.
you're gonna be plain old cold.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
you're just
and
gonna be cold.
We're in Charlotte.
And you're also at the point that like a lot of people like to do the shorts. I think if you wear the pants, you're not going to overheat if you're running in the morning.
I think
The
it might be
compression
pants season.
pants.
Yeah.
It might be pants season.
Yeah, for me, I warm up really quickly when I run, because again, I used to be able to run 18-minute 5Ks, but then when I was 18,
Wow.
I woke up one day or was in a run and I was like, I don't like this, so
Yeah.
just stop running, and my knees hate me for it. But no, so good for you for getting back to that.
you. We're
trying.
I feel like every time I try to get back into running, I pretend like I'm 18 again, and then I get to my mailbox. I have a long driveway, by the way, so that doesn't sound as ridiculous as you seem. I'm like, oh no, what have I
the
done?
mailbox.
Yeah, so good for you. I will live vicariously through you.
Well,
Yeah.
I appreciate the.
I always
heads
look at
up.
runners and no one's smiling.
No one ever looks like
So
they have a great time.
I'm always
true.
like, they all look miserable. Why do
Right.
they do it? But good. Yeah, exactly. Good for you.
Hey, actually, yeah, I'm gonna watch. I can live time update you. Check
How do
this
you
out.
how do you make these for like he had so
On
like
the
all the weather
spot.
IQs that he had for like the
I know.
the zaps
The-
and the
and the-
freezing rain.
yeah.
That's crazy.
I like
I've been
the
here.
turkeys.
I've been here 7 years, and I've made a lot of stuff.
It's just
Like,
crazy. You
They're
find it
just
so
in the
quick.
files.
Plain and simple. Let me see. So tomorrow, so we have the way that our system works is that we have it's called IntelliCast. So it takes the data that's happening right now and it updates. I have to update it, but you can update kind of what the current conditions are and how that's going to play out. So this would be for tomorrow's forecast.
let me get-
I was like, oh,
Is
Rewind.
that you?
I was like, who's that guy?
How do you even do that?
That
Wow,
right there.
such great posture.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, look at that guy. I am pigeon toe, but don't worry about that. You couldn't see it. But so this would be your forecast. Let me see. Make sure that it does say tomorrow.
37
my
at
gosh.
10.
Yeah, so
Wait till your show's over and
like
then,
I
You know,
said,
you're doing a little after college game day.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
yeah, but then like I hear and you can adjust. I can adjust the time. So I have it right here at the current time. So let's go. When would college game day be over?
noon,
yeah,
before noon,
right at noon
the
for
noon
those
game.
kick games.
I mean, not
Okay.
that we're giving the other station love, but
It's on
Okay.
ESPN. They're
Yeah,
fine.
no, yeah. Yeah, what are you talking about? It's streaming. We're all part
yeah,
of the
you
streaming
have
community.
WCNC Plus
Right,
on your
exactly.
phone while you're watching
Okay.
game day.
So,
Okay,
see, look at the bars don't even know what to do with themselves. They got so high. So, yeah, you're talking about 47 between about 3 to 4. So,
Okay.
that might be kind of your better thing.
47, 3 to 4.
Is
There
it
you
gonna-
go.
Can we see the little Chris running again?
Yeah, of course. Here we go.
yeah,
I was just
I've
saying,
been
here,
enjoying that.
I'll just play it. Do 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 do. So, if you really want to know, what's actually pretty cool is I'm bringing you behind the scenes.
Ooh, so behind the scenes, Chris
about
Mulcahy, Weather IQ.
about how we make weather graphics. So for one,
Okay.
this is WSI. This is the program that we use. So let's bring it up. Yeah, I'll be able to. You can still see what I'm doing whenever it's in this mode. So what I've created right here is literally it's a 3D environment. So the little Chris that you just saw right here is literally a PNG movie. So I ran at the green screen in place, and then I'm able to animate like I'm running across. So I'm able to remove that, so it's almost like a PNG file, but it's a movie. So I'm able to, so I have an in and out point that goes from left to right. And the cool thing is where we're at right now, and let me see, let's go into the environment. So what this literally is you make a little world. So
Wow.
this is a 3D models of a mailbox. You have a tree. So you're able to kind of make these little environments
gosh.
that kind of show, and you're able to put different graphics in. Because I love doing this type of stuff. Because I know that people want the forecast, but if all you have to do is just kind of make it a little bit more real. Like Jeb is running. If I just showed you a morning forecast, you're like, okay. But if I was like, hey, I'm going to go for a run, it just makes it more fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
so practical.
Yeah, so this is just one of the examples, and like look over here. Sometimes
Got a
little details,
playground.
and I love to hide little Easter eggs sometimes in some of them. Like one of the mailboxes in one of my graphics says 36 Sprinkle Lane. So there's a so there's a little playground and such. So I use that for a playground forecast. So yeah, this is how it is. Like for a lot of the different graphics, it's in an XYZ plane for a lot of our graphics
This
that
is
we can
Chris's
build.
little neighborhood. Like
Yeah.
so much of your
Your
forecast
world
live
is in here.
And you can literally make stuff out of shape. So say if I add a cube here, okay? So hold on. So yeah, I've never done this just like live people watching this.
No, this is Black Friday. Like,
Okay.
this is-
So the cool thing is you can literally take a cube and then you can rotate it like this. But the best thing is to make things real, you have to mess with the shadows. So by doing that, I can bring
crazy
I
amount
can
of
bring the
detail.
brightness and then bring reflectivity a little bit. And then you can kind of mess with these toggles to allow, hold on. I don't have my mouse, so it's a little bit finicky.
Do you
but-
have to be well versed in graphics, or some are just with the WSI system?
Yeah, it's just with the WSI system. So like right here, you're able to add a little bit of color, and then at that point, now you kind of have something that, see how it's creating its own shadows, so it looks a little bit more realistic. And then you can also add different patterns and stuff. I've actually made a fair graphic before where it literally is made of a bunch of different pieces. So since we've now moved this into how Chris makes graphics.
yeah, I mean, there's nothing
is
going on in the world
a
right
little
now. So this is the most
behind
interesting thing we've
the
had in
scenes.
weeks.
Yeah. Let me see. I think it's fair. So I made this one several years ago, but I'm very proud of this one. So the way that it works in the XYZ plane, so it's literally like real life. So you have the X, Y, and then Z is going to be kind of back and forth. You're able to put a bunch of pieces together, and you can load what's called a .3ds. So literally that is, in a 3D world, almost for video games, is an object that is in that 3 dimensions. So what I'm about to load up is, come on, where's my fair forecast? Okay. So this is one of my old graphics. So you can see that it has an old banner, so you haven't updated it in a while. Literally that Ferris wheel that you're seeing off in the distance, and this will eventually load, it's a big file, is made up of cubes and cylinders. So I completely, yeah, here it is. All right, so watch. And you're able to group things together and literally make the world. This right here is a 3DS object, but here, I'll show you.
I guess naively assumed that these were all just kind of pre-baked.
They were like
into the
templates
system.
and something you can
I
just
didn't
sort of
realize you guys were building
put some
all of
words and
these.
banners on there, but you are
Yeah.
starting from scratch.
Well, for a lot of them, now WSI gives us a lot of different graphics, but some of the ones I'm showing you, I personally built. So what you're seeing here is literally, and I'll just double click in here, is that's just a cube. That's just a line. These right here, this took me way too long to make a Ferris wheel. Now, I did have to have a friend of mine make a little 3D little seat, but these right here, these are just little cylinders. This is little spheres that I made. And then when
Wow.
when you animate this type of stuff, let's see, you can actually have it spin around. Let's see.
Wow.
And
Oh, look at that.
yeah, and that's why like I made that Nick Ick where you can I can
Yeah.
put any one of you at the green screen. Hold on, where's my there's my guy. I also hid myself in this graphic. I'll animate it.
You hid yourself.
Yep, see there I am
Yep,
eating
yep.
a hot dog, enjoying
Barefoot.
myself. So this is a really fun way that we're able to kind of make any forecast relatable. That's why we love, especially in the mornings, of doing your running forecast, the bus stop forecast, your
these are
evening
fantastic.
forecast.
Totally relatable.
Yeah, so that was actually impromptu, but yeah, welcome to my weather
This is
graphics
your world.
Yeah, and we got dozens for different things. Like my favorite thing is like when you do get to the seasons, you get to use the graphics that you only get to use for a small period. Like, so I made this from scratch, took a lot of animations, but literally you have apples that drop into a bucket, they spill over, and then the bars start to pop up.
Like,
Wow.
that's amazing.
So
amazing.
yeah, it's a lot of fun, and now WSI gives a lot of different ones, but the ones I'm showing you, ones that I've personally made, and it kind of brings it to life. I think the best thing for forecasting, and it can be difficult from times, is I love to try to make the weather relatable. Like when I talk about dew points, the weather impacts us each and every day, and you may not even realize it. How many people are thinking about the dry air that's
I
going to
didn't think
affect
about
you?
the zap zap.
The zap zap zippity zaps. So yeah, this really gives an opportunity to kind of make it more fun. And if I show you an apple picking forecast like this, you're gonna remember it compared to just some bars on a white background.
Absolutely. And yeah, they're beautiful and memorable.
Well, thank you guys. Yeah, I just needed a little confidence boost for my graphics, so that's why I did this.
No,
So-
this is fun.
You do have the best graphics, I think.
Oh, 100% of anyone I've ever worked with. And I've
Oh, well,
been here
thank
for
you.
3 years, had no idea that there was that,
That
level
takes
of
a lot of
intricacy.
effort.
Putting this all
You
together.
put a lot
It's
of time
crazy.
into that, right?
Most people, like so many times, the top questions I get is, do people do your makeup? Well, first off,
No.
I'm supposed to wear makeup, but then I haven't done it for 7 years, and nobody said
Really?
anything, and I probably just exposed
Woke
myself.
up like this. Like, you look great, Chris.
Yes,
Boom.
you look bright.
A lot of people will ask, do people just give you the forecasts, or do you read a teleprompter? Whether people are just making it up on the fly, especially me. There's so much going on in my brain. That's why I stammer constantly, because I was like, oh, what am I gonna say? But yeah, no, I love what I do, and that was a lot of fun. And I think the best advantage that we have here in the Impact Studio is, yeah, you hear me talk a lot more, but I get to go through all the graphics. So many graphics that I make each and every day don't make air, just because it's nice to make so many different things to kind of have different aspects of the forecast. Like I made this today for traffic, and I literally never used it. That 89.6% of all travel is going to be by auto. That's 73.2 million. So there's so many different ways that you can do here, and that's why I also tell some of my reporter friends that if you need me to make you something, I can. as long as the weather's calm.
I was going to say, that's good to know.
Yeah.
You can put all these graphics together.
I was gonna say,
For
I mean-
non-weather related stories.
Of course.
maybe?
I got
Yeah?
you.
All right. That was fun.
That was fun.
That
Thanks,
was
guys.
awesome. Really
Yeah,
appreciate you taking
pleasure.
us behind the scenes.
No,
there.
I really appreciate it. That was fun. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. All right. With that, let's go ahead and take a break here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. Make a graphic for that. All right, back here now at 9:49 on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. After that nice weather show, little mini show, and a little behind-the-scenes tour with Chris Mulcahy, all his graphics. That was kind of cool. Let's go back to President Trump's call to U.S. troops that happened on Thanksgiving Day. We'll continue to play this for you now on Live Impact News.
To see me, and I gave them a medal, all of them. There were a lot of handsome people. They looked like Tom Cruise, actually. It was very good casting. But I like Tom Cruise, the last of our movie stars, probably. But although we're honoring Sylvester Stallone a little while at the Kennedy Center, so I'm going to put him in that same category. We have Sylvester Stallone and Tom Cruise. But I will tell you that they said for 22 years, sir, our predecessors and us wanted to make this attack. 22 years they wanted to make this attack. And they practiced it 3 times a year for 22 years, and no president gave them the approval to do it until you came along, sir. We want to thank you. I said, did you really enjoy it? They said, sir, we loved it. We loved it. And these are brave men. These are from a different place than some of the people I know who aren't courageous. We have a lot of people that aren't courageous. These people were amazing in the job they did. So with that, I'm going to ask Lieutenant Colonel Charlie Rockwood, who's a highly respected young man, to speak to you. And if you have any questions, I'll answer them. Unlike Biden, he didn't take questions. But I take all the questions you want. You can ask me any damn question you want. And then we go and have a great Thanksgiving, because I don't know about you. You probably had your dinner already, but I didn't. And I know exactly what I'm going to have. Turkey. Okay? I believe it's turkey. So, Lieutenant Colonel, if you would, you take over. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. We're going to pass it over to Major General David Gardner from the United States Army.
Happy Thanksgiving, President Trump. This is Major General Dave Gardner, the commander of the 101st Airborne Division and your Joint Task Force Southern Border.
That's right.
I appreciate you saying I was tough. Everyone cheered. I assume that means they agreed with you. We are headquartered in Arizona. The service members with me today represent over 10,000 deployed along the 2,000 miles of our border from San Diego to the Gulf of America. We support Customs and Border Protection, U.S. Border Patrol, and as you said, Mr. President, illegal aliens entering our country is at a historic low thanks to our collective efforts.
That's right.
On the screen behind me, you may be able to see some of the images of us patrolling, reinforcing the border wall, and we're doing that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, including today, Thanksgiving. Our soldiers, Marines, sailors, airmen, guardians, and Coast Guardsmen were able to have fantastic Thanksgiving meals and engage in traditional football games against each other. We're doing well. We all appreciate you taking some time from your family to speak with us today, and thank you for your support, Mr. President, and happy Thanksgiving.
Well, David, thank you very much. And one thing you said in the question or statement, probably I like a statement even better than a question, but I like that because you appreciate what we're all doing together. We're partners. But you said the Gulf of America. And there's a thing that for actually 350 years, 100 years older than us, Mexico, it was called Gulf of Mexico. And I would say to myself, why are we calling it Gulf of Mexico when we have 92% of the frontage and they have, I'm a real estate person at heart, and they have 8%. And I made that change, and it was amazing. It took literally a matter of hours, and it was done. And nobody even, very rarely did they complain. We beat AP, Associated Press, very badly in a lawsuit. You know, they tried to get it stopped because they're not good Americans. I mean, who would want that stopped? But we beat them, as you saw, we beat them very badly in a lawsuit. But other than that, I mean, we had no complaints, and everybody's happy with it except Mexico. I wouldn't say they're thrilled, but they'll get over it. But we now have the Gulf of America, David, the Gulf of, isn't that great? And I'm very proud of it every time I see it. And now it's spoken of routinely. I saw it before. There was some event taking place down by Louisiana, and they said, we're here at the Gulf of America. And they're just talking about it like routinely now. And they're not saying like Gulf of America and smiling. It's just routine. It's called now the Gulf of America. So I'm actually very glad you brought it up. That's another one of our many achievements. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President.
Great job. Please.
Sir, before we go on, do you have any questions for the president?
Yes, Mr. President, this is Sergeant Major Anderson. I do have one question, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you were to place a wager between the Army and Navy football game, who would you put your money on, sir?
You know, David, I think you should dock him. That's a terrible question. That's he'll get me in so much trouble. But I'll tell you what I will do. I'll be going, you know, you have one of those teams is having a spectacular year, and one of them, they're both doing well. But I'll be at the game. And I'm going to let you know right after the game who's going to win. It's going to be a good game, and you're going to be watching it. I'd love it. That's a place where we get a lot of cheers when we go in. You know, we won the military vote in the largest number ever gotten by a president, by far, despite the lies that they said about me. You know, they make up stories of lies. They're disgusting people. But we won the military by the biggest vote in the history of our election. So I like the military, but I like the Navy. And I like the Army a lot, and I'm going to be at the game, and I don't know if you're going to be there. You're pretty far away, but we'll be thinking about, I'll be thinking about that wise guy question you just asked me. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, sir. With that, we're going to go over to Major Ross Gilchrist from the United States Marine Corps.
Good evening, Mr. President. The Marines and sailors in this room from Battalion Landing Team 3-6 are ready, capable, and lethal to support readiness and lethality in support of Operation Southern Spear. We're here in Camp Santiago, Puerto Rico, conducting sustainment training, and recently we conducted a mobile training team employing first-person view attack drones, conducting 2 day strikes and the first ever 3 night strikes in the history of the Department of War. This represents a milestone in our combat lethality, increasing the capability of the Marine Corps and the Joint Service. Soon, we're going to prepare to support counter-narcotics operations in the ground, maritime, and air domains and respond to crisis and contingency operations to provide you options, Mr. President, in support of national security objectives to protect our homeland. Marines and sailors of BLT 36, the Hellhounds, are ready. We're the first to fight and at the tip of the spear as an expeditionary force in readiness. Thank you for your support, Mr. President. Semper Fidelis. Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, thank you, Ross, and you people are just amazing. You do a fantastic. I knew every move and every single thing you said. I know exactly what you did and who did it, and I want to just thank you. You were amazing. And Border Patrol and all of the people here, Border Patrol, every single one of them. These are great people. ICE, ICE gets not the credit they deserve. They are unbelievable, tough, smart, and they're unbelievable patriots. So, Ross, thank you very much. You really have done a great job. We appreciate it. We love working with you. Thank you.
Ross,
you, Mr.
before we
President.
go over to the Navy, do you have any questions for the President?
Anybody have any questions?
Good afternoon, sir. The only proper response to the Colonel from Fort Huachuca is "Go Navy, beat Army."
Okay, I got to remember that. Thank you very much. They're going to have a great
Sure.
game. Thank you very much.
All right, sir. With
Yes,
that,
sir.
we're going to move over to Captain Chris Farraker from the United States Navy.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, on board here, Iwo Jima, proud commander of the USC Iwo Jima Amphibious Readiness Group, along with the 22nd MEU Expeditionary. You already met my one brother from Central Casting, Colonel Tom Trimble, and my other brother is Colonel Rick Shooter Haley. Behind me is a few of the men and women who comprise the 10,000 sailors and Marines of our Iwo ARD team, who are currently conducting maritime patrols against narcos in the Caribbean in defense of the homeland.
Yes, sir. As you know, that we have also, besides the missions that you know about, sir, we also reinforced the embassy in Haiti. We're getting engaged on a routine basis, both receiving fire from some of those gang members and returning fire, defending that embassy. We've also opened up operations down here in the south, conducting expeditionary advanced base operations at Roosevelt Roads, where Major Ross Gilcrease and the team are currently training. We've also done, as you mentioned, Mr. President, humanitarian support to Jamaica.
We will get back to that call with U.S. troops and the president, all happening yesterday on Thanksgiving Day. First, we're going to take a break here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. Back here just after 10 o'clock on Friday morning, we are following some breaking news for you now. A homicide investigation taking place in Rock Hill. This is what's coming into the WCNC Charlotte newsroom, happening earlier this morning, where one man was found deceased. This is happening in the on Eden Terrace Eden Terrace in Rock Hill near the intersection of Arrowhead Drive in the 2300 block of Eden Terrace, if you're familiar with the area. Happening around 12:30 this morning. Officers responding to the area where reports of multiple gunshots were fired in an apartment complex, and that is where they discovered an 18-year-old found on the ground in the apartment complex, deceased from gunshot wounds. We'll continue to follow this breaking news out of Rock Hill, but a homicide investigation taking place this morning. Get you back out to President Trump's call to U.S. troops from his Thanksgiving call now on WCNC+.
The Homeland, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and really great job. Would anybody...
Sir, I'd like to say more.
Yes, go ahead, please.
The First Lady came down to North Carolina last week and visited the Marines and Sailors Camp Lejeune, and my wife and my daughter and my two sons were able to meet the First Lady and get a picture with her. She was truly gracious, and we really appreciate the time that she spent with the Marines and Sailors. That meant a whole lot to a whole lot of people down in North Carolina, sir.
Well, thank you very much. And she had enjoyed it, and she mentioned that, meeting your family. And she said those people are in good shape. They're in very good shape. I don't know if she's referring to me when she says that, because I don't know. That could be a little slight. But she was very impressed with everything she saw. Thank you very much.
Sir, before we go to the Navy, Captain Farragut, do you guys have any questions for the President?
I do have one selfish one, sir. My daughter's 9th birthday is here in a few days. I was wondering if I could get a happy birthday, Catherine, from you, sir.
And her first name is?
Catherine, sir.
Well, Catherine, you have a father who's a great hero and a great man and highly respected. Happy birthday, and take good care of him.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Say hello to her.
All right,
Anybody back there have a question?
I think that's it from us here, sir. Again, appreciate your time, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your
Happy
family.
Thanksgiving, sir.
Thank you all very much. Great. Have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Sir, with that, we're going to go over to Colonel Seth Spanier from the United States Air Force.
Happy Thanksgiving, Mr. President. I'm Colonel Seth Spanier, 7th Bomb Wing Commander, and here with me I have Lieutenant Colonel Brian Guyette, our 28th Bomb Squadron Commander, and Major Joseph Spada, our 28th Bomber Generation Squadron Commander. And we're here representing the 4,000 men and women stationed at Dyess Air Force Base in Texas, employing the mighty B-1.
Good evening, sir. The Bomb Wing hosts multiple B-1 squadrons that are responsible for everything from training the world's best combat aviators to operational test, in addition to projecting strength and lethality across the globe. Recently, the Bomb Wings Combat Squadron was forward deployed to the Indo-Pacific, and the men and women that you see behind me were part of the 28th Bomb Squadron and fellow squadrons that executed operations in the Caribbean, and were responsible for demonstrating the latent combat capability of the training squadron, in addition to projecting credibility into the Caribbean on behalf of the long-range strike platform, the B-1B.
Well,
It is currently off station at Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada.
Thank you very much. And I don't know if you know, we have more planes on order in terms of dollars and planes itself, and they have a new one, the F-47, and I didn't name that. It was named F-47. They think I named it. I didn't. They surprised me, but I hear it's stage 6, and it's at a level that nobody's ever seen before. But we have more planes on order right now and things in the works than we've ever had. So from the Air Force's standpoint, I know you know exactly what's on order because we dealt with you and what you like. But we've never had so many planes being built at one time, and we're reinvigorating everything. I know the F-35 has been very good, and we're working on some maintenance issues to get some of them back sooner, as you know, because some of them are out, and rather than having them sit there, we're getting them fixed. Should have happened a long time ago. But we've never been in the position where we've ordered so many, and I think the Air Force has to be very happy about that.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Good, thank you. And if you have any questions, please go ahead from your group.
Good evening, Mr. President, and happy Thanksgiving. I'm Senior Airman Laurent. I'm an intel analyst at the 28th Bomb Squadron. My question for you today is, What is the most memorable obstacle or hardship that you've encountered in your life, and how did this shape you to be the leader you are today?
Wow, that's an interesting question. But I'll tell you, in terms of obstacles, would be the weaponization of government by the previous administration. That was probably the biggest obstacle. I won by a lot. I ran a second time, I won by a lot. And I ran a third time, and it was too big to rig. But the biggest was that. They went after a lot of great Americans. I was one of them. And I would say weaponization by my opponent was a disgrace to our nation, and I would say it was the most difficult time. And we won. And now today I'm in Florida, but generally I'm in the White House, I'm in the Oval Office, so I look around and say, oh, well, couldn't have been that bad, but it was. It was a disgrace to our nation, and it should never be allowed to happen again, and it's being looked at very strongly. But it's a very interesting question. I don't know that anybody's ever asked me the question that way. But if you did, I would say it was the weaponization and illegal weaponization that they used where our government attacked the president and the former president of the United States of America. And I was fighting for you, not just for myself. I was fighting for you. I was fighting for everyone that I'm looking, all of those incredible patriots that I'm looking at, but the millions of people that are listening right now and the hundreds of millions of people in our country, and we fought and we won. But they're bad people. So thank you. That's a great question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, with that.
Sir, one last one. If you could throw up CHOP, it's our to the Mohawks. That's our squadron motto, CHOP.
Oh, good. I love it. CHOP. See, we're not allowed to do that anymore. We're not allowed. You're not allowed to use the word Indian anymore. The only one that wants you to are the Indians, all right? I don't think you should ever change. I will never tell you to change, all right? It's great. And they're very proud of it, too, by the way. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Sir, we're going to turn it over to Captain Ryan Weber from the Space Force.
Okay.
Good evening, Mr. President. My name is Captain Ryan Weber, and I'm the commander of the 18th Space Defense Combat Squadron. Today with me, I have Delta Crew. They're working the holiday swing shift right now, which is led by Lieutenant Cunningham and Sergeant Jackson. We also have 5 orbital analysts with us today. Our mission here at the 18th is space domain awareness, tracking everything to, in, and from space, whether that's a launch, satellite reentry, or maintaining the catalog 48,000 objects in space. It's been a historical year for 2025. We've had over 273 space launches to this year, 174 of those being from the U.S., and we're just grateful for our newly operationally accepted system to lead the way for the world in space domain awareness.
Well, I know all about it because that was my baby, Space Force. So I can't say I have any favorites because I don't want to do that. But I'll tell you, I have a real love for Space Force. And as you know, I did that. We put some very good people in because we were losing to China and Russia substantially. And now we're leading China and Russia substantially. And as you know, Biden came in, he wanted to terminate Space Force. He thought it was funny. He thought it was so funny. The military didn't think it was funny, and he was met with a great force. And the force said, you're not doing this. But I think it's going to go down as one of our most important, as technology goes. The things we're doing now in space are unbelievable, and I think it'll be one of the truly great things that this administration did. I did it in my last term. But we really had great people there, and we're dominating space now. We're dominating it. We were losing it to both China and Russia at the time. We had no Space Force. And so we created...
We continue to visit with President Trump and his call to U.S. troops from Thanksgiving Day. First, a 2-minute break on Live Impact News on WCNC+. Back now at 10:12 on Live Impact News here on WCNC Plus. I'm Jane Monreal, joining you on a Black Friday as you plan your deals and your shopping today and recover from Thanksgiving Day. We are playing President Trump's call to U.S. troops that took place yesterday. So if you've missed any of it, we are continuing to plug along. It seems like good conversations there. Let's go ahead and back to that on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus.
This incredible group of people, they came together and they created something very special. And I'm very proud of all of you for being involved. It's going to be one of the most important things I think that I've ever done. Thank you.
Ryan, before we move on to the Coast Guard, does anybody from your team have a question for the President?
The one question I would have, sir, is what do you see for the future for the Space Force? How do you expect it to grow as we build out as a branch?
Yeah, I just think it's unlimited. I think it's, in terms of technology, in terms of, the others have been here for a long time. And Air Force has been, and I could have left it in the Air Force, but I really thought it should have its own identity. And it works closely with the Air Force, but you wouldn't have had your own identity, and I don't think it was working doing it that way. So we created, because of the importance, we created Space Force. And I think it's got unlimited growth potential, and maybe at a faster level than others, because they have been here. They've seeded, and they're doing great. But you're a seedling. You're just at the beginning of your powers. It's going to be unlimited future. Really, I feel that. And I think you agree with that. But it's going to be unlimited future. And thank you all for being involved. Very proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of the 18th, thank you for your support and happy Thanksgiving.
Well, you have my support totally. And you too. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you very much.
So to round it out, we're going to go over to Lieutenant Commander Alex Wild, United States Coast Guard.
Good evening, Mr. President. Lieutenant Commander Alex Wild, Commanding Officer of Coast Guard Cutter Force Red Knarr. We're currently patrolling the southwest border off of the coast of California in support of Operation Border Trident to protect the maritime boundary. With a crew of 25, our fast response cutter has contributed to mission success in securing the border, as you mentioned. Last month alone, we had 3 at-sea interdictions and apprehended 45 illegal aliens. I'd like to recognize, to my right, the boarding team and pursuit team from our most recent interdiction. To my right, Lieutenant Junior Grade Fuller, Bosun Mate First Class Garcia Cosby, Electrician's Mate First Class Areza, Bosun's Mate Third Class Gerhards, and Machinery Technician Second Class Simano. We've had a real nice day, as you said. It's been pretty quiet on the water, to be honest. Our 2 culinary specialists gave us a real treat today for Thanksgiving by smoking 2 turkeys. And this evening we'll be trying to have some trivia here on the mess deck. We're truly grateful for this opportunity to speak with you today.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I've loved the Coast Guard for a long time, and more than anything else, all the lives you saved in Texas and various places, all of these places that got hit by the hurricanes and all of the different, the storms, the big water storms, as they call them, but mostly hurricanes. The jobs you do, the way you go into those seas, I wouldn't want to do it. You want to do it, but I wouldn't want to do it. And I just want to thank you for that. As you know, we've ordered a lot of Coast Guard cutters, brand new, beautiful, the best machines in the world, the fastest, the best maneuverability. They tell me. I said, how's the speed and the maneuverability? I'm a looks person. I wanted the hull to be perfect. I sort of redesigned the hull a little bit, the hulls, but we ordered a lot, and we're ordering icebreakers too that you're going to be in charge of. We have 11 of them being built right now. We had none. We only have 1 in the whole country. Russia has 48, and we have 1. And that's just ridiculous. So we're doing them in conjunction with Finland and some other people, and they make the big, they're known as the people that do, I guess, 90% of the icebreakers, so they have a great expertise. But we're doing them also as a joint venture where they're going to be built in this country, and they've already started. So we've ordered 11. You were going to build 1, and the 1 was going to cost almost as much as the 11. And every one of the 11 is much better than the 1. So that didn't sound like a good deal. So you know exactly what you're getting. You're getting the best icebreakers in the world, the top of the line, and they're going to be delivered very soon, actually. They're moving along very quickly. They're building them. and you'll end up with 11, but before we even start that, we're going to end up doing another 11 pretty soon. So you're going to have a lot of icebreakers pretty soon, which is very important. I assume, is that important for the Coast Guard? Because if it's not, I'll cancel the order immediately.
Very important. Yes.
Okay, good. Good, then I won't cancel the order. That's good. You're going to have the best icebreakers there are, so it's really great. Very important to us. Thank you. Any other questions?
Yes, Mr. President.
Yes.
I'm Petty Officer Riza. First question is, what is your true golf handicap to not according to fake news? And are you and President Biden going to play that golf match?
I'd love to. I mean, I've invited him, but he doesn't want to show up. Look, I know a lot about golf. I've won 38 club championships, and I don't get to practice much. I won one last year. I won a club championship in a big club, beating a 27-year-old kid. I said, you know, I'm decades older than you, but I said, the fairway doesn't know how old you are as you walk up the middle and he's in the rough. And I've been a good golfer over the years. I won, when you win, you know, club championships are our majors. You know that. Most people can't play in them. They won't. We're talking about no strokes or anything else. So I'm a very low handicap, and I've won 38 of them legitimately, everyone legitimately. It has to be legitimate because you have a lot of people following you during club championships, as you know. So I guess I'm very, I got to be right around scratch or better. I beat a +3, that's 3 better, 3 below par. You know, if you look at it for those that don't know. In the finals of the club championship last year with all I was going through and with no practice, so I'm a good golfer. Yeah, I would have to say that. I want to be honest. I have to be honest. I played with Bryson DeChambeau on his show, you know, the Breaking 50, and we had a good time. But a lot of people thought that was a great ratings hit, and we had a lot of fun. But golf is great. It's sort of a microcosm of life. And you have a lot of people talk, but they can't play, like Biden. Biden can't hit a ball 30 yards, I'm telling you. I looked at his swing. He cannot hit a ball 30 yards. He said he was a 6 handicap. He said that was the only thing that made me angry during the debate with him. He said he was a 6. I said, you're not a 6. And he said, well, I'm an 8. I said, that was quick. I picked up 2. But he's not 100. He's not 100. So, but it's a great game, and I hope you guys get to play a little bit of it. But frankly, I'm more excited about the icebreakers, if you want to know the truth. So anyway, I want to thank you all. Great job. Coast Guard, great job. We're proud of you. You're going to have the best equipment in the world, and it's coming rapidly. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for support, President.
So that concludes the presentations. If you have any closing remarks, that'll be it.
All right, we will get back to golf talk with the president talking to the U.S. troops last night. First, a 2-minute break on Live Impact News on WCNC+. Back here now at 10:22 on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. President Trump making a late night call to U.S. troops last night on Thanksgiving Day. We've been playing this call for you throughout the morning here. Here's more of it. About 8 minutes left on Live Impact News.
The closing remarks, I just want to say how proud I am. You look at the people that we just dealt with. These are the top people in our country. These are just beautiful people inside and out. They're brave, they're smart, they're brilliant. And I just want to say it's an honor to be with you. It's an honor to be working with you. We have the strongest country we've ever had. We make the best equipment in the world. We have the best military in the world. Nobody can even come close, and everybody knows it, and they respect us now again. A year ago, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, they didn't respect us at all. They laughed at us. Nobody's laughing anymore. So I just want to thank you all very much. I'm very proud of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. We can cut that then. We can cut that. Hello.
Mr. President, good to see you. Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You too.
A question about this tragic shooting in Washington, D.C. U.S. officials say that the suspect worked very closely with the CIA in Afghanistan for years, that he was vetted, and the vetting came up clean.
He went cuckoo. I mean, he went nuts. And that happens, too. It happens too often with these people. You see them. But look, this is how they come in. This is how they're standing on top of each other, and that's an airplane. There was no vetting or anything. They came in unvetted. And we have a lot of others in this country. We're going to get them out. But they go cuckoo. Something happens to them.
Your DOJ IG just reported this year that there was thorough vetting by DHS and by the FBI of these Afghans who were brought into the U.S. So why do you blame the Biden administration?
Because they let them in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? Because they came on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here, and you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person. And there's a law passed that it's almost impossible not to get a and it was disgraceful. And if you look, you'll see there was a law passed. It makes it almost impossible not to let them in, not to certify them, so to speak, once they come in. And they came in, and they shouldn't have come in. And frankly, the whole thing was a mess. The whole Afghanistan situation was a mess. It should have never taken place. If we're going to go out, and we would have gone out because I had everybody ready to go, we were going to go out with strength and dignity and precision, and we would have left from Bagram, and we would have kept Bagram, by the way, because of its very close relationship to China and where they make their missiles. But when you let the people come in by the thousands and thousands and thousands, they made a terrible mistake. But they were incompetent, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. President, thank you for having us here tonight. Have you spoken with Sarah and Andrew's family?
We have a call in a little while, actually, right after this.
Do you plan to...
Well, the family is devastated, as you can imagine. But we have spoken. I mean, my people have spoken with the family. We'll be speaking tonight, tomorrow. You have to give them a little... They just found out about their daughter. You know, you can't just call 2 seconds later.
Yeah, of course.
It's a very, very tough situation.
Obviously,
she was so outstanding. I mean, I just heard outstanding in every single way.
It's in the early stages, obviously, but do you plan to attend Sarah's funeral?
I haven't thought about it yet, but it certainly is something I could conceive of. I love West Virginia. You know, I won West Virginia by one of the biggest margins of any president anywhere. And it's, you know, these are great people. I love the people of West Virginia. I love the people of our country. But I haven't given it any thought, but it sounds like something I could do, yeah. It's very raw.
Yeah, of course. The suspect does have a wife and 5 children who live in Washington. Do you plan to deport them?
The suspect has?
The suspect?
Well, we're looking at that right now. We're looking at the whole situation with family. It's a tragic situation. Yeah, Jeff?
Mr. President, are there any changes you want to make to improve safety for National Guardsmen who are being sent into these cities?
No, just I want to have more. As you know, we're sending 500 more. We had very little crime in Washington now for, you know, many months. Record-setting low crime, and this happened. And I don't know how you put this on the scale of that. This is sort of different. This is terrorism threat, and this was done because they're so effective. If they weren't effective, you probably wouldn't have had this done, but this was done because the National Guard has been so effective. You know, you went from having a tremendous amount of crime and death, killing, everything else, to having none. And this happened, I assume, because it was so effective. And maybe this man was upset because he couldn't practice crime. Who knows what his motivation was? But what he did was horrible.
And you've made changes for Afghanis' ability to apply for asylum. Do you blame all Afghans for this one man's not mistake?
No, but we've had a lot of problems with Afghans because they had a lot of them coming in on these planes. Again, I show you this picture. We had a lot of them coming in on these planes that are, look at them. There was no checking. They just poured into the plane. And many of these people are criminals. Many of these people are people that shouldn't be here. And many of them have been gotten out. I mean, we've gotten out a lot of the people that, you know, we've taken a lot of them out of here.
But many of them
they
aren't
came
here
in
legally, right?
Yeah, I know. This deal story. Many are wonderful. Yeah,
No,
I'm sure.
I said many are here legally, though. What should they think in terms of their prospects?
Well, they can't be happy, okay? They can't be happy. Because what's taking place between that, if you look at Somalia, they're taking over Minnesota, and we got a lot of problems with the gangs, with all of the things taking place in Minnesota. We have an incompetent governor, we have a dope governor. They can't be happy about what's going on. And if you talk about the Afghans, you know, there's a problem because so many bad ones came in on the planes. They just walked in. Whoever the strongest people were physically in a way, but whoever the strongest, they got on the planes. There was no checking. They just swamped the planes. They took off. We had no idea who they were. Yeah, do you want to ask a question behind?
Me? Hi, sir. Happy
Sure.
Thanksgiving.
Hi.
What do the Somalians have to do with this Afghan guy who shot the national?
Nothing, but Somalians have caused a lot of trouble. They're ripping us off for a lot of money. There's a tremendous amount of money going back to Somalia. What the hell are we paying money to Somalia for? But they're ripping off our country at a level that few people have been able to see before. That's about the only thing. You talk about competence. We have Ilhan Omar, who does nothing but complain about our country and our Constitution. And she comes from a country with practically no country. It's devastated, it's crime-ridden, it's a mess, it's a disgrace. And we took their people at a tremendous, we're not taking their people anymore. We're not taking their people, and we're getting a lot of their people out because they're nothing but trouble. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Go ahead.
One question about this asylum claim that is being floated. Of course, you just detailed that this suspect was flown in under the Biden administration.
Yeah.
But was he granted asylum under your administration?
When it comes to asylum, when they're flown in, it's very hard to get them out. No matter how you want to do it, it's very hard to get them out. But we're going to be getting them all out now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody.
Here, take that picture if you want it, press.
Mr. President, what are you most thankful for?
And that was from last night on Thanksgiving Day. The president taking calls and on a call with U.S. troops. So we played that for you here on WCNC Plus. A break now on Live Impact News. We'll see you in 2. Time right now is 10:33 here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. All right, it's Black Friday. While we're talking about a lot of shopping deals to be had. Comedy also here in the Charlotte area, as comedian Ryan Davis will headline the Queen City Omega's Black Friday comedy show tonight. And our Nick Sturdivant talked to him earlier this week. If you missed that interview, here it is for you now on WCNC Plus.
On Black Friday, man, for the Queen City Omega's Black Friday comedy show. An exciting time, man. Thank you guys for coming in, man.
Appreciate you.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
thank you
for having me.
Yeah, man.
So give us this opportunity to be with you guys on live.
Talk about the show. What can folks expect? Because it's a Black Friday. People, man, they be going over, grandma's house, auntie house, getting those leftovers, and they need something to do. They're not going to work.
True.
On Friday.
True.
So what?
So
what can
we
they
want
expect?
them to come out and bust their guts with laughter. Now they're already going to be busting their guts from the food the day before. We want to come in and bust their guts with plenty of laughter the whole night long. You got myself, Tito Kuntz. I'm hosting the show, and we've got jazz saxophonist by the name of Alex Milan. He's going to open it up to sort of saute the ladies as they're coming in. Is that a word? If not, I just made it up.
Yeah. We'll make it a word.
Saute. And then I'm going to come out and start the show off. And then we've got a female by the name of Janine Slaughter who's coming in to, I guess, satisfy the ladies' taste of comedy as well, because people always say, Tito, you don't bring no women in. I want to see some women. So we've got her on the show. And then my guy, T Springs, is going to do his thing, rip it up, and set the stage for the underrated Ryan Davis.
Yeah.
So that's what we got. Black Friday, 8 o'clock at the Oasis Shrine Temple.
Let's get to you, T Springs, man. What can folks expect from your set, man?
Oh,
on
I'm
Friday?
silly. I'm silly. I'm like that relatable, silly cousin, nephew that you got that you've been telling him his whole life he funny, he should do comedy. I finally decided to really do it 10 years ago, and I've been loving it ever since. My style of comedy is just, you're going to be able to relate to it. You're going to be able to look at me up there and hear what I'm saying and be able to say either you have somebody in your family like that or you can secondhand know that situation. That's just how I bring my style of comedy, which makes me and Ryan such a good team, because he can come in and give you everything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of like just set the table, and he come in there and just played everything and kills it. So I love it, man. And I always working with the Queen City Omegas, man. Every time we've done shows with them, Tito has always provided a room for us to be able to do our thing and showcase our talent. And I speak on, when I say us, I mean almost every comedian in North Carolina, period.
Yeah, that's worth doing a show.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
if you're good enough to do it, then yeah.
Yeah, and his rooms are always great too. When he said the ladies, it's always like
It's always 70-80% women.
I'm just saying, we the Qs, they know.
Look, I'm not gonna hold it against you. You on the other side of 1911. I'm on the good side of 1911. I just want to throw that out there.
Y'all start that talk. I'm gonna move out the way.
I just want to throw that out there. I had to take a shot.
It's always the capitalists got to give us some notoriety. We don't even mention y'all.
Throwing stones at the guy.
And we're gonna wrap up this interview just now. Ryan, I want to ask you something, man. So I've heard somebody referred to you on a podcast as I've heard it on a couple of podcasts, greatest in your generation. But the title is underrated. Your special is underrated.
Yeah.
Do you really believe you're underrated?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. The funny part is the people who say I'm the greatest of my generation are people who know what it is that I do.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I say underrated is because a lot of the general public, there'll be people watching this that goes, I've never heard of them. And then you got people
crazy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You got people like D.L. Hughley and Dave Chappelle and people like that going, no, he's the greatest of his generation. And there's the disconnect. So when I dropped my special Underrated, it's out. It's been out for a month, 2 million views.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations, man. Clap it up, man. Clap it up. Clap it up.
Yeah, people, hopefully after the run of the special, and by the time I shoot the second one, it won't be the case anymore. People understand why they call me that. But as of right now, I still kind of feel it. Yeah.
Okay. T Springs, how long have you been working with Ryan?
What's today? We've been knowing
2 days before
people don't know
Thanksgiving.
is, and we have to explain this to people a lot of times. They think sometimes they see comedians together and they automatically assume that comedy is what brought them together. Me and Ron been knowing each other since childhood. You know, we grew up in the same neighborhood together. We got an uncle in common that ain't either one of our uncles.
Yeah, he married both our aunts.
So you know what I mean? So like we like cousin-in-laws. I don't know what it is, but like me and Ron been knowing each other since like grade school.
He
I
the
know his
first
whole
kid I
family.
saw when I walked out the door.
Yeah. So like we
In
just
my
so
life,
happened
he was the first kid.
to
Yeah.
be funny. And when we embarked on this relationship as far as comedy goes, he was actually doing comedy at the time and doing videos online. So we was just trying to figure out a way of monetizing it. You know, so like I was pretty much what he called at the time a brain truck. And while that, you know, time frame, I think 2013 to 2015, I was monitoring and watching and seeing how comedy is supposed to be done.
Yeah.
And I finally got up enough nerve. He put me on a list one night and made me do 3 minutes.
Oh, I thought he was about to lie. I
And
tricked him into doing
Yeah,
comedy.
he
I told him
tricked
to
me.
come see me perform. He got there and his name was on the list.
Oh, snap.
3 minutes had to feel like an hour.
But you got to understand with those 3 minutes over the last 2 years as we're traveling from state to state and I'm doing jokes in the car.
Yeah.
And I'm going over material to where he's made up in his mind for me that I'm
He
funny
can
enough.
do it. Yeah, you can do it.
So
Stop playing.
you got to do 3 minutes. And I went up there and it was the most exhilarating feeling at a time when I
Yeah.
really needed that. So I was like, yo, this is what we're doing. And for a while we worked and did comedy and it wasn't until we decided to put both feet in that we really start seeing, you know, the fruits of our labor in this comedy game. And ever since then, we just been running together, making it happen.
Concourse on right there,
Yes,
man.
sir. Kannapolis.
Cape
Make sure we-
Canal. Okay.
Yeah, we both from Kannapolis. He moved to Concord.
Okay.
He had to go to that other school.
Oh, wow. That other frat.
Yeah, it's a lot of beef going on.
It's a lot of beef.
that we ain't beefing about. You know what I'm saying?
Who were y'all? I want to, Tito. I want to ask you this too. Early influences. It could be either in comedy, just in life, man. Because I feel like those influences shape you to who we are today, right? Like, who are those early influences for you guys?
For me, being that I guess I'm the elder statesman here, I got into comedy back in the mid-'80s.
So Lenny Bruce.
No.
Nah, I'm playing.
Lenny Bruce.
That's a throwback.
Sorry. I put him in the black and white area.
But Rich Pryor, who I consider as the GOAT, that OG there, he was the one that really sort of made me think that I want to do this.
Yeah.
And when I first started, there was no black rooms, as we used to call them. There were no black comedy clubs, no BET Comic View, no Def Jam. It was just rooms, predominantly white rooms. And I went there thinking I was going to be the next Eddie Murphy or Richard Pryor. Not so much. Not so much. So at that point, after about a year's time frame, I decided to change up my way of thinking. And I thought about it after a guy told me, said, well, Tito, you got to be yourself. You got to be yourself. Don't try and be someone else. You can't be the next Rich Pryor. You got to be Tito Kuntz. And from that point on, I decided to be me. And it's been over 30 years in the game. And as T mentioned, that my Omega house, the Queen City Omegas, we have a frat house here on Statesville Avenue, the Omegas of Charlotte, and started doing shows there once a month back in 1997.
Wow.
28 years later, we're still running. And to their point,
Big right there, man.
I brought in comedians from all over the country that have since gone big time and all of that, touched the stage, blessed the stage, and got on the mic and just said, I just want to do 3 minutes. I heard you have a room here. So we've been running it. And that was where it started. That's where it's still going. And it was a pleasure to see this guy get on my stage and these two guys as well. And he might tell you about way back in the day.
I heard about a story.
What you heard
We're
about?
going to get to that in a minute.
Okay.
T Springs, early influences, man.
For me, watching Eddie act, like I was a big fan of like 48 Hours, stuff like that. Not so much of the comedy special frame, but one of the earlier influences for me as a whole was Def Comedy Jam. Me and my older cousin, we used to like secretly VHS tape and what we call dub them. You know what I'm saying?
We did that same thing.
Dub 'em,
Yep.
and then like write something over the top of the so we didn't want our parents to know that we was really indulging in this. So like we would go back when we had free time and rewatch watch those things. So like watching those guys hit the stage, for me at that time, it didn't seem, conceivable. It didn't seem like that was something that I could actually do. It was like watching superheroes, right?
Yeah.
I never thought that I could actually do that. Getting a little bit older, I seen J.J. Williamson perform on Cedric the Entertainer had a thing he did. where
First
he hosted-
Amendment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was like some kind of boxing thing that they had. It was a tape they did. It was some boxing thing that they had because Lil Duval was on it at the time. He was still using his real name at the time. And I watched J.J. Williamson do a set on there, and I remember thinking like, if I did comedy, I want that. I want to be, because it seemed totally original. It didn't seem like doing Michael Jackson jokes or whoever the president at the time was jokes. It was like his life.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I did comedy, I want to do that. And for me to actually get to a point where I felt like it was conceivable and something that I could actually do, and I had a chance at it, was watching this guy. Watching the guy that I grew up with, that we both had the same households, we both had nothing, we both was trying to do something, and watching strangers want pictures, want an autograph, want to buy a t-shirt, and you go up in front of strangers and tell your life story. I was like, nah, maybe I got a chance. So yeah, those are my influences, and I'm still being influenced to this day. We still got a long way to go.
Man, Ryan, I see you smiling a little bit, man. when you hear that, I want to hear your influences.
I wasn't expecting that. It was just, man, why you say that? But my influence is my father is the funniest man I know. I think he's absolutely hilarious. He could have done this if he had made the choice. That was my first influence, but he created a funny family. All my siblings are funny. Some of them don't even know they're as funny as they are because they're being dead serious. But and then when it came to comedy, and I grew up in a household that my parents loved watching comedy. I remember like watching HBO specials the night they debuted. Like we was all in front of the television. I remember when Chris Rock did Bring the
A pause in Nick Sturtevant's interview with the comedians that are performing tonight. A break here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. We'll be right back. At 10:47 on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus, we continue the interview from earlier this week with Nick Sturtevant and the guys that will be at the Queen City Black Friday Comedy Show tonight here on Live Impact News.
Blacker, like the moment
Classics.
it came on. Yeah.
Classics. Yeah.
I was front dead center watching it, and Kevin Hart is one of my bigger influences as far as once I saw Let Me Explain and the ending of it or whatever, I got on stage 3 days later. Like, so as far as those are my biggest influences as far as who moved me to go pursue this. But influence as far as my style, it's definitely more Dave Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal, Bill Burr, kinda,
Man. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I thought you was gonna shed a tear at first when you was talking about you. I was waiting for that too. But
No, it just caught me off guard.
Got him.
Got your moment.
But it just shows, man, comedy, man, just in different ways, even from your family, man, it just can influence you, man. I got to get back to what Tito was gonna bring up. I was gonna bring it up. I heard the story about Ryan's first appearance at the show. How it went. He was very humble about it. Yeah.
Okay.
He was very humble about it.
Oh yeah.
But y'all did the right thing.
Turned my life around.
Is that a great setup for the story?
Yeah.
Let's hand it over to him.
Okay. I didn't know
What happened?
That's an alley-oop.
Tito booked me to play the Mega House for the first time. So there was
money in his pockets.
There was a place somewhere. It was a room. I forgot. But Tito had saw me there, and I did very well.
Yeah.
And Tito was like, "Cool."
I saw potential.
I saw it. Let's work. You know what I mean?
What year was this?
Woo.
14.
14.
Okay.
Probably
14.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ain't no. Probably it was 2014.
He knows exactly.
It was 2014. I was like, oh man, because like if you are a comic coming up here in Charlotte, the Mega House is the best room in the city. You know what I mean? You know it's gonna be packed. You know that they enjoy comedy. They come to laugh. Ain't no excuses. You do your job.
You know what I'm saying? It's a rite of passage for him to want you to come into his building.
Oh yeah, it's invite only, baby. There's no yeah. There ain't no list you can sign to get on. No nothing. No, you get booked to this. So this is we see you. And I've been wanting to work the room. You know what I mean? All my OGs was playing the room. Everything. Everybody I respected. And I was like, man, I finally get this opportunity. I invited friends out, family out. The girl I had a crush on, I invited her out. She sat front row.
This sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Oh man.
She sat where?
Right in front. Nick. Right in front. Right in front.
And that's where you messed up.
Boy, and when I tell you, I bombed like nobody ever bombed before. I couldn't believe it because it was the first bomb of my career. Not only am I bombing, I'm bombing in front of people I care about.
Yes.
And I'm bombing in a room after, and I'm telling you, Tito killed. Like everybody was killed. I was the only person who didn't do well that day. So you can't say, oh, it's the crowd.
No.
It was me. It was 100% me. Oh my gosh. And then my guy Antoine Scott was the closer, right?
Yeah.
Set the building on fire. He was murdering. And I'm watching the girl I like, who didn't even laugh at me, just knocking stuff off the table, laughing at somebody else. It broke me. I was like, this will never happen to me again. I ain't even want Tito to pay me.
He did. True. He's telling the truth.
I ain't even want him to pay me.
After every show, I take all the comedians back in office and I speak with them and I give them their pay.
Yeah.
He told me he did not deserve it.
I didn't deserve it.
Sure did. I said, no, my word is bond. You get it.
Yeah, he made me take them. He forced the money
Sure
upon
did.
me. But I didn't because you paid me to do a job. I didn't do the job. You shouldn't get paid for it.
And I want to say this. That's what I've always liked about Ron. He cares about the art form of what we do. Like that's the loyalty and respect that we have for Tito. That's one thing, but he cares more about the art form. He's never chased the money. We can make enough money to get to the next city. We okay. He cares so much about the art form that he's left a lot of meat on the bone. Because he don't want it that way.
Yeah.
A lot of opportunities that probably came across his table that he probably denied because that don't fit what he is into. You know what I'm saying? And he started out doing stand-up comedy first, right?
Yeah.
And the internet became a means for him to get noticed to be able to go do that thing. So a lot of times sometimes people are pressing, hey man, where's the videos? We enjoy your videos, we enjoy it, but that is to get me on stage. I'm here now. He cares more about his art form that he's trying to build, so 20, 30 years from now, people can talk about that as a legacy. I love that. You know what I mean? If I can paint a great picture and it takes me 30 years to paint it, as long as it's the 16th Chapel, I'm cool. I don't need to paint 3,000 pictures. You know what I mean? I think we need more of that in the game. People that really care about this art form. A lot of people are trying to jump the line. They want to be famous. They want girls. They want the money. They want the fame and all that stuff. But they not expounding on their art form. You know what I mean? It's like you're not getting better at it. You know what I mean? It's just, I know people. I've been doing it 10 years, and I've passed a lot of people as far as the art form, and it's not something I'm proud of. These are peers or friends of mine. I'm like, yo, how you not getting better? And you performing as much as me. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't care about the art form. They care about, I got a girl phone number last night when I got on stage. Tito paid me. Like, oh.
You talking about humility, man. It's humility, man.
Yeah, and I ended up, but that's why I
well, let me tell him this. When we were in the back office talking, he didn't want to take the money. He said, Tito, if you give me another chance, I'll come and redeem myself. I said, you got it. Sure did. And booked him, I forgot when it was, but I booked him later on. And that,
it was a roast for his retirement.
Exactly, that's right.
Yeah, he went viral in that same month.
Yeah.
It was like everything was happening in that month.
But I was like, and this is the thing, a lot of people, for some reason, don't know I can roast. I don't know why they don't know this.
You know what it is? You come off as a nice guy.
Yeah.
Him be the one.
Yeah.
That's like, him be the one when they say the roast stuff, it hurts you the worst because they be like the truth, like articulating yourself.
Look, I'm in the room with comedians right now. I'm not about to step out of bounds and say any jokes because y'all gonna roast me. I'm too sensitive. I might cry.
I'm one of 8 kids. And my dad is the funny one.
Yeah.
I got more practice than anybody should ever get at roasting. So, and I love the art form.
Yeah.
So when Tito, hired me to do it, I was just sitting there. I was like, man, they have no idea. I'm about to murder everybody. And then after I did my set or whatever, and Tito was like, I got a date for you.
Yep.
And that's when I met Marvin Hunter, and now Marvin has become one of my best friends.
Wow.
Marvin Hunter.
Yeah.
Look him up.
Tito, I got to ask you, man, my last question for y'all, man. When you look at their careers, even yourself, man, what comes to mind, man?
Success without the hoop line in a sense.
Yeah.
Because they started humble, sort of like on the underground. A lot of these cats that have come through, and they just matriculated their way up the ladder.
Yeah.
And they're doing big things. And a lot of them told me over the years, said, man, no matter how high I get in this game, if you call me and need me, I'll be back. Just like that.
Wow.
So it feels good for me to sit here with these guys, knowing them personally and all of that, and see that their careers are just ascending still. It makes me feel good.
I got to ask y'all, man, when y'all hear that, man.
I mean, it's spot on because we don't need to be booked in Charlotte, Concord, Kannapolis area. We can do that ourselves, right? We don't let people call us and say, hey, I want to book you here. We can do that. We have a strong enough pull in ourselves, but it's Tito. So like when Tito called me and say what he wants done, I already know what Ryan's like, get it done. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's him. Like no other promoter or somebody with a room can call us and say, hey, I got this much money and I want to do that, because it's backwards for us to to do that. But for them, of course, like he said, we've always stayed true to that.
Yeah.
What you want? What we doing? How we doing it? Like just have or whatever. And Tito is a businessman, so he want to be like, I want to make sure I'm dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's. Come on, Tito, it's you, bro. We gonna get it done. You know what I mean? And like I say, with me and Ryan's success, if that's what you want to call it, sometimes we have survivor's remorse. You know what I mean? Like I still go back and hang where I'm from and kick it with the homie. I'm still the same guy. And we've lost a lot of friends and family members that think we've changed.
Yeah.
Like no, I'm the same guy. You just don't invite me to nothing. You think I'm busy? I want to come.
Yeah.
Like I want to be there. I thought you was on the road. Ask me.
Ask me.
I'm at home all day.
All these means of communication.
Right. It's that thing, and like that keeps us grounded. Like we still I call Ryan because I seen a meme on the internet. We'll laugh about it and end up on the phone for 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still just sit around and do nothing together, and that's what I love. You know, and we can also be in rooms with the David Chappelles and all these people and still just be in there kicking it and trill. Like, we don't have to pull our phones out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I say this all the time. People don't take pictures of stuff that they plan on seeing again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you don't see people in New York taking pictures of Eiffel Tower if they stay there.
Right.
All right, we wish them a good show tonight for their Black Comedy Friday. Nick Sturtevant's interview that aired previously here on WCNC+. We're coming up on 11 o'clock. Charlotte Today is up next, and I'll join you again here at 12:30 on Live Impact News. Have a great morning.